What's going on, everyone? Andrew here, and welcome to my studio. Today I wanted to talk a little more about using delay on guitar. This is a continuation of my first delay video, which you can find here. That first video covers how to use the basic controls, the key differences between different kinds of delay algorithms, and then also specific ways to use tape echo and analog delay. If you're super new to delay, I recommend checking out that video first to understand the basics and the fundamentals, and then coming back here. The HX Stomp is an amazing pedal for many reasons, one of which being that it comes preloaded with a ton of different delay algorithms. This way, you can audition different delay algorithms to figure out what works best with your personal style, but also what might work best for like a certain musical situation. In this video, I'll do my best to audition these delays for you and also give my reasoning for why I would use one over the other in a live or a studio situation. Welcome to my channel where my focus is music education for the modern guitarist. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please consider subscribing. An important distinction to make is the difference between using delay as an effect and using delay as a tonal enhancement. And let me explain a little bit about what I mean here. Sometimes I may want to use a delay with a high mix and kind of play off the repeats, almost like a magic trick to add extra notes to my guitar. Other times, I may want to use a subtle delay just as like a slight washy trail, almost more akin to a reverb. Technically, both of these examples I'm using the same effect, but because of the way that I'm mixing it in, it's almost like two completely different things. In my opinion, some delay algorithms are naturally better at being an effect, and some delay algorithms are naturally better at being a tonal enhancement. This is really important to know. Digital delay is naturally a better effect delay due to its clear representation of the original signal. An issue can arise when trying to use a digital delay as a tone enhancer, and I think that this is even factored into its reputation amongst guitarists. I feel like for my generation, the first delay pedal that a lot of us had were like a Boss digital delay, like a DD3, a DD6. The issue for me has always been with the first repeat. It's really strong, and it's hard to get the level to sit right to get it to be underneath your signal. The ones they make now have some tape and analog settings that try to filter off the top end of the delay repeats. But if you're looking to use a delay as a tonal enhancer, I would avoid digital delays and use something like a tape echo or an analog delay. However, digital delay is really awesome when used in the right way, and let's talk about a couple ways to use it effectively. Let's take advantage of those pristine repeats and use the delay to harmonize with ourselves. This technique has been made famous by Brian May and Yngwie Malmsteen, to name a couple. In this scenario, the pristine repeats is actually like an advantage over something like a tape echo or an analog delay. For a more classic use of digital delay, let's add a little bit of modulation to the repeats and set up a shorter delay time with a dotted eighth pattern. Modulating the repeats adds a little chorus to the delay tone only, and I think helps to separate it a little bit from the original signal. The digital algorithm is sharp and pristine, so it adds a little bit of like a snappy percussive element. That extra little zing of the digital delay is really what sets it apart in this case. Next up is the world of multi-tap echo. Up until now, we've been discussing delays that use a single playback head, meaning that there's one interval of time between the original signal and the delay. Add some repeats and you get a classic single head delay tone. Now imagine if you could add a second delay that was set at half the time of that first delay and have both going at the same time. When combined with numerous repeats, the sound can start to get really filled out. Examples of multi-head or multi-tap delays in vintage gear would be like the Roland Space Echo or the Benson Echo Rec. The lo-fi repeats of an echo combined with multiple heads and all of the trails kind of cascading and blending into each other creates this really ethereal, ambient, almost like reverb-y kind of echo. It's really, really cool. Now, because there's a lot going on and there's a lot of like reflections and repeats, the sound can start to get a little cluttered if you start doing things that are very strict rhythmically. I typically use single head tape echoes for my tonal enhancement delay just because the multi-taps can start to get a little much in a band context. The tonal enhancement delays are all about subtlety, so feel free to experiment with these and pick a delay algorithm that has the tone that you want, and then just adjust the mix and the repeats to where it sits in. Maybe it's not in the way, but you can also tell when it's off. Experiment with these and let me know in the comments. Do you prefer single head echo or multi-tap echo? Similar to multi-tap echo, you can also use two independent delays at the same time. This is sometimes found within the same algorithm, usually called dual delay, and you have individual controls for the time, feedback, and mix of each delay within the same algorithm. But you can also just use two delays, or in the case of the HX Stomp, two delay blocks on the same path. You can arrange these delays in two ways. You can arrange them in series, meaning that one delay goes into the other, or in parallel, where the delays are side by side and the repeats of either delay don't affect each other. As you can hear, the series delay repeats tend to get a little mashed up after a while, and it actually sounds more like a multi-tap echo, where the parallel delays maintain that rhythm the entire time. Dual delays are also especially cool in stereo. For the case of this video, I'm gonna keep everything in mono just because I know a lot of us are limited to a mono setup live or even in the studio. If you guys are interested in a dedicated video on stereo delays and stereo delays on the HX Stomp, let me know in the comments. Here's an example using a quarter note delay with a dotted eighth delay at the same time. We're gonna grab two tape echo blocks. For series dual echo, you just put both blocks one right after the other on your single path. This is what it sounds like. For parallel dual echo, take one of the echo blocks and pull it down onto path B. This way the signal runs through both, but the delays never run one into the other. Lots of options and flexibility here using the HX Stomp. It's a great device to be able to do these kinds of things, again, without having to buy all these delay pedals or try all these things out or take up extra room on your pedal board. I hope that after this two-part video, you're better equipped to use delay in a live setting, with your studio stuff, on guitar, or even on like keyboards or vocals. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. I hope to catch you in the next one. Until then, take it easy.